Okay, so what are Facebook ads? Okay, you've definitely seen them before. They're basically sponsored messages that show up between your friends' stories like this or feed like this. Okay, so for example, this right here, this is an Instagram feed ad. It's almost like a little mini commercial that businesses pay for in order to get their ads in front of potential customers. But guys, like, you do not have to be Lululemon or Apple to run Facebook ads. You can make ads at home with your smartphone. And you can put as much or as little money as you want behind the ads. But, we'll get into that in a sec. First, let's get you set up with an account. How to create a Meta Business Manager. Meta Business Suite is where you're going to go to access the necessary tools for managing your ads. And you need to create an account. So you're going to go to business.facebook.com and then you're going to select create an account. How to create a Meta ad account. So next you're going to need to create a new advertising account. So to do this, you're going to select ads from the left menu bar and then follow the instructions. Making a meta pixel. Okay, so on to creating our pixel. So if you're not familiar with what a meta pixel is, it's like a little spy messenger guy that works between your Facebook ads and your website. So when someone makes a purchase, or maybe they visit a specific page on your website, it's that pixel that gathers all that information and brings it back to Meta. So when you log onto Meta to look at your analytics to see, okay, how much revenue has this ad made me? The reason that you're able to see this information is because the pixel is tracking it. So you're gonna wanna create a tracking code within your Meta Business Suite account and add it to your website before running any ads. This is very important because this is gonna allow you to see whether your ads are successful. If you're using Shopify, it's really easy. All you have to do is go into your Meta Business Suite account, copy your 16-digit pixel ID just like this, and then you're gonna paste it into the Meta Pixel ID field under Online Store in your Shopify store's preference section. And then within a few hours after adding the pixel ID, you should start to see your website activity under pixels here on your Meta Business Suite account. All your stats like purchases, add to carts, and visitors are gonna be recorded here, okay guys? Understanding how Facebook ad structure works. So when you're getting ready to create an ad, you're gonna see that there are 3 tiers. We have campaigns, ad sets, and ads. And I want you guys to imagine these tiers like folders on your desktop. Ads are inside ad sets, and ad sets are inside campaigns. Starting with the ad itself. An ad is what the end consumer is going to see as they're scrolling on Facebook or Instagram. It can be images, it can be videos, it can be text, or it can be a combination of these 3 things. Okay guys, so look at my screen. This is where you get to be the creative genius, where you come up with your ad creative and your creative masterpiece. Let's go up one level into ad set. This is the container that holds the ads. An ad set is a group of ads that share the same targeting settings. So for example, you could target people that live in a specific location, or maybe they're a certain age group, or maybe they have specific likes or behaviors. So you would do all the targeting here. Now, if you're not 100% sure how to do that, no worries, we will cover that later on in the video. Okay, and then one level up, we have campaigns. A campaign is a group of ad sets that share a common goal. For example, you could create a campaign to increase website traffic or push sales for a specific product. Okay, so we're at the campaign level here, and as you can see, this is where you set your objective, or in other words, the reason for running your campaign in the first place. Okay, so now that you are an absolute expert with where everything lives, let's hop into Meta, FK, Facebook, okay, and let's build these campaigns out. How to set up Facebook campaigns. Setting up your campaigns the right way is super important. The smarter you set this up, the more likely you will make your advertising dollars go further. So for example, if you set your campaigns up the right way, we can avoid running into audience overlap or auction overlap issues so that we're not wasting any money. So let's set this up. Click on Create Campaign. If you're looking to get customers to buy a product directly from you, you're gonna choose sales. But if you have the old campaign objective menu, then you're gonna wanna hit conversions. Both will be doing the same thing. If you're looking to generate leads though, like if you're a service-based business, then you will hit leads. And of course, there are other objectives to choose from here too, but you'll probably be choosing one of these two. Okay, now look here. So see how it's saying choose a campaign setup? You have the option to choose between a manual build or Advantage Plus shopping. So going the manual build campaign route is just gonna be the traditional way of creating a Facebook ad campaign. And in this setting, you have to manually select all the settings, which can be a little time consuming, but on the flip side, it does give you more control. The Advantage Plus shopping campaign is a new type of campaign that uses machine learning to automatically optimize your settings. The point of this is that this type of campaign is more streamlined and it's going to be more easy to use than a manual build campaign. Advantage Plus shopping campaigns are designed to be just as effective as a manual build, but they might not be as suitable for all businesses because you may not be ready to give up control. And honestly, I'm working on that in therapy right now. Right, guys, so your business needs to have enough data to train the machine learning algorithm. So if you're just starting out and you don't have that data, this may not be the best option for you. Okay, so you're gonna give your campaign a name. You wanna make sure that the naming convention is gonna be as easily understandable as possible, especially upon first glance. This is gonna be especially important when you have many campaigns all at the same time. And you wanna use the campaign objective in your name, like conversion, new product launch. And also you might wanna include what level of the funnel the audience is in, like tofu, which means top of funnel, and bofu, which means bottom of funnel. So yeah, ideally you would wanna make 2 campaigns, one for cold audiences and one for retargeting, just like this. And a tip to keep in mind is that it's also common to have 1 campaign per product range. So let's say you sell keyboards. You wouldn't want to have one type of keyboard in one campaign and another keyboard in another, because you would just be wasting your advertising dollars selling to that same person who's looking for a keyboard in different campaigns. And plus, it creates ad fatigue. So instead, what you would want to do is you'd want to include an entire range in one campaign. So all the keyboards would go in one campaign and all the mice, let's say you sell mice as well, in another. Because that same person that would be willing to buy a keyboard from you might also be looking for a mouse, which means you're not gonna have any overlap issues. So I know that was a lot, but bottom line is, to recap, each campaign has 1 product range, not 1 product. So we'll skip over special ad categories. We have an auction buying type, sales as our campaign objective, which we already set in the beginning, remember? And then you can decide whether you want to A/B test. So in my experience, I have seen media buyers actually go in and just duplicate a campaign out or an asset out to A/B test rather than using this little toggle, but everyone's going to have their own method. So you can choose to A/B test at the campaign level or at the ad set level. So don't worry about ad sets right now. We'll get into that after we finish with these campaigns. But whether you should A/B test at the campaign level or at the ad set level is going to depend. So at the campaign level, A/B testing is a good option if you have limited budget, or if you want to test a few broad variables, like campaign objective or targeting, for example. The thing is that campaign level A/B testing can be a lot less precise than ad set level A/B testing because you're not going to be able to control as many variables. Ad set level A/B testing is a good option if you have a larger budget or if you want to test more specific variables, but it's going to be more complex and it's going to be more time consuming. In my professional experience, I just have seen more ad and ad set level testing, but guys, that's just me. I'm not the end all be all. You're going to hear a lot of different people and different experts revealing a lot of different methods online. So this is just my, pinpointed view. And then you have the option of using Advantage campaign budget. Choosing how much you want to spend depends, number 1, how much budget you have. You only want to spend how much you can actually afford. And number 2, your product cost. Generally speaking, higher cost items tend to require a higher ad spend. As well, your ad objective, guys, that's going to make a difference in terms of how much you're spending. Sales-oriented objectives like purchases, they're going to cost more than objectives that are aimed at increasing awareness like clicks and engagements. They do make you pay to play. And lastly, guys, how much you want to spend will also depend on your average customer acquisition cost. If you already know your cost to acquire a customer because maybe you have already tested paid ads somewhere else, you're going to want to put that number here. Customer acquisition cost, or CAC, as they like to call it in the streets. Listen, guys, I am giving you the goods on the industry acronyms. Yes, it's called CAC, and it's important to know because you can use that information to estimate how much you can afford to spend on Facebook ads without exceeding your budget. How to set up a Facebook ad set. Okay, make an ad set and then duplicate your ad sets into the campaign just like this. We want to be able to test several at a time so that we can see what's working and what's not working. With these ad sets, you can test various factors like lookalike audiences or interest targeting or demographic-based audiences. And what are we going to call this? Well, common practice is to name this by what type of audience you're going to be targeting. And look at here, guys. So right here, you can set your performance goal. Love that. And if we scroll down here to audience, we can start getting a little bit more creative. So if you see here on my screen, this is where you can create audiences. If you want to advertise to a cold audience, this is called prospecting. Prospecting is a way to reach new customers through Facebook advertising by targeting people who have not yet interacted with your business online. Facebook provides two helpful tools for businesses to find potential customers. We have lookalike audiences and saved audiences. Lookalike audiences are created using your existing customer data to find people who are similar to your current customers. And saved audiences allow you to target prospects using interests, behaviors, and demographic data. So that's prospecting, but then we also have retargeting. So what's retargeting? Retargeting is a powerful way to advertise to people who have already interacted with your business. Like maybe they have visited your website, or maybe they've added some items to their cart, or maybe they follow you on Instagram. So you can retarget by creating custom audiences. And these custom audiences can be based on your customer list, website traffic, or your catalog. Moving along here into the placements area. Okay, so Facebook recommends using Advantage Plus placements for most businesses. They believe that Advantage Plus placements can help businesses reach a wider audience and get better results. Advantage Plus placements can be a good option for some businesses. Ultimately, the best way to decide which type of placement to use is to experiment and to see what works best for your business. You can start with Advantage Plus placements and then switch to manual placements if you're not happy with the results. Okay, so we're moving into the actual ad part. This is the actual ad that your audience will see. So I understand that it can feel really overwhelming to know what kind of ads to make because there's literally just endless possibilities. It's almost like being a painter and having a blank canvas in front of you and just not knowing where to start. So this method that we're gonna do right here is gonna really help you. So if we look at the traditional marketing funnel, we have awareness at the top. This is when a customer becomes aware that you even exist. After that comes consideration. This is when a consumer is thinking about purchasing from you, but maybe they're just not sure yet. And then the final stage is called conversion, and this is where a customer finally makes that purchase decision with you. But we're gonna flip this upside down. We're getting a little wacky. It's whack-a-doodle time. Okay, so let's take this traditional marketing funnel and make it applicable to Facebook advertising. So the conversion is making the online purchase right up here. But what do they have to do before that? Well, they have to check out in the consideration phase. And what do they have to do before that? They need to add to cart. And then before that, they need to view your product page. Before that, they need to visit your website first. And before that, they click on your ad. Before that, they view your ad. And before that, you need to get them to stop scrolling. So now it becomes a lot easier to decide what kind of ads you're gonna make for every stage of the funnel that your audience is in. But there is a catch. This here is what you want your target audience to do. But I can guarantee you that your audience absolutely does not want to do this. Imagine that your audience is a group of 3-year-old kids. They're gonna have objections at every step of the way. You want them to stop scrolling, right? And they're gonna be like crossing their arms. They're gonna be like, no, right? They're 3-year-old kids. So we have to make an ad to meet those objections. So to get them to stop scrolling, we'd make an ad that has a really strong hook, and that'll get them to stop and watch for a sec. And then we need to get them to click, right? So let's think of all the reasons and objections as to why these 3-year-old kids would not want to click. So an objection might be, I'm not interested. I don't care about what you have to say. Okay, so it's our job to overcome that objection. Maybe we show off our product's most innovative features in our ad. So over here is where it gets really interesting. Why would someone add to cart and then never make the purchase? Well, maybe it's a price objection. Or maybe they saw the shipping costs and they were like, nah. So it's our job to show anyone who has added to cart an ad that overcomes this objection. So we're gonna make an ad that has maybe an offer of free shipping for 24 hours and we'd add that right here. Okay, so you're gonna wanna do this and then you could really start to get into the minds of your customers. Now you could really make ads that get into the mind of your target audience. Okay, so getting the creative part right with Facebook ads is more important than ever. So currently with Facebook ads, businesses can no longer rely as heavily on targeting the way that it once was. So the key to making successful Facebook ads is making ads that, the creative part that really hits. I personally find that the analytics on Facebook doesn't really tell the whole story. I don't love it. So I have really enjoyed using Motion. Motion helps you take a look at your ads from a creative perspective and understand what are the common attributes that are working, what are the things that are not working. So you can get reports like, which are my most thumb-stopping ads? Which are those ads that are hooking people in? And from there you can be like, oh, okay, so any ad that opens with a question, for example, is keeping people watching longer. And that's an actionable insight, right? So maybe you start making more ads with questions. And then maybe you find that ads without captions aren't really working. So you cut all those ads. So yeah, guys, those are just some examples, but hot little tip, check out Facebook Ads Library if you want to see the live ads literally of any given advertiser at any given moment. Okay, so once you have the creative that you're going to run, maybe you've already filmed it, you're going to go back into Facebook and you're going to set it up like this. First, give your ad a name. If you're running a partnership ad, you're going to want to flick this on. Partnership ads allow you to run ads from the voice of your partners, like an influencer, for example. So these types of ads can result in better performance than just regular ads because they optimize for both partners' audiences. But if you're just running an ad from your own account, then no worries, you can leave this off. Then you are gonna choose an ad setup. Okay, so your options are create ad, which lets you create a new ad from scratch. And then you can also use existing post from your Facebook or Instagram. And you can also use Creative Hub mockups. So mockups are basically like pre-designed templates that you can customize with your own text and images and videos. But I think for most of you guys, you're probably gonna be starting from scratch or from an existing post that has already proven to have high engagement. So we're gonna hit create post just like this, and then we will make sure that our conversions are properly being tracked with our pixel accurately installed. So make sure. And then you can also choose to add parameters to track where your visitors are coming from. Okay guys, are you feeling good about how you're gonna be making your actual ads? I hope you're feeling confident. Now what's gonna happen is you're gonna be running these ads, guys, and you're gonna notice that some ads are working and some ads are not working. So let me show you what to do when that time does come. How to analyze, optimize, and scale your Facebook ads. To track how your ads are performing, you should customize your dashboard to show the metrics that are important. So here are some to get you started. CPC, or cost per click, is the average amount you're gonna pay each time someone clicks on your ad. You'll wanna flick this on in your columns. Click-through rate, you'll also hear it referred to as CTR, is gonna measure the percentage of people who saw your ad and how many of those people clicked. CPM is the average cost based on 1,000 impressions. It determines the cost effectiveness of your ads, so you're definitely gonna wanna include this one as well. Return on ad spend, or ROAS, guys, this is gonna measure the revenue earned for each dollar you spend on advertising. So this is really important and you're definitely gonna wanna include in your columns. Monitoring these will help you make a decision to cut ads if they're not working or put more money into ads if they are working. So what does not working mean? Not working means that the cost to run your ads are too expensive, or in other words, your CPM is too high. Not working means that your return on ad spend is too low, or in other words, your ads are not profitable. It means that the click-through rate is too low, or in other words, people are not resonating with your ads. So if your ad doesn't work, what should you be doing? So the first step is you're gonna try to understand why it's not working and make any changes to influence the KPI that you're targeting for. So let's say this is my ad right here. And let's say that I'm not getting any sales and it's just too expensive to run this ad. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask myself, why? Secondly, I'll develop a hypothesis. Maybe I'll say, it needs some humans in it. That's what I'm gonna go with. So I'll go in, I'll refilm my ad, I'll add some humans, I'll upload it to Facebook, and then I will closely monitor the CPM to see if the changes that I made had an effect. You can choose to cut ads that are constantly underperforming. But ad creative is not the only lever that you can pull when your ads aren't working. You can play with your targeting, you can play with your budget, but just remember to isolate the changes so that when you do make those changes, you know exactly what was the cause. Knowing the cause helps you make smarter decisions for the future. How to scale your Facebook ads. So guys, that is what you do when an ad is not working, but what should you be doing when an ad is working? Okay, I am so excited for the day that you open up your analytics and you're like, oh my God, my ads are actually working. So now let's get you prepared to know how to handle this success. Once you're hitting your targets and you're remaining profitable, you'll want to scale your ads. And at this phase, you're going to be focused on adjusting budgets and updating creatives. To avoid audience fatigue, you're going to want to commit to refreshing your creatives often. Reason is because your audience will get tired after seeing the same ad over and over. So you're going to notice that your results are going to start to worsen. And so you're going to want to avoid that. And to do that, you're going to want to drop in new creatives often. But of course, that can take a lot of time and that can take a lot of energy. So be aware that that's going to be required of you. You're going to want to scale your ads for days, weeks, sometimes even months. So if you want to be super prepared, come up with a bunch of content beforehand. It'll definitely be time consuming, guys, for sure, but it'll be worth it because you're going to be making money. And guys, make sure that you scale your ad budget slowly. Don't try to scale your ad budget too quickly, so you're gonna wanna increase your budget by 20% every few days. If you're finding this video helpful so far, please give a big thumbs up to this video. It's definitely a small thing that you can do for me and this channel, and it helps out in a really, really big way. So yeah, and also guys, if you are an entrepreneur and you are looking to grow an online business, then you have definitely come to the right channel. This channel right here is called Learn with Shopify. It's an official Shopify channel where we teach you how to grow an online business. So if that sounds good to you, then hit subscribe.
What is Meta Business Suite? Meta Business Suite is a centralized platform designed to help you manage your Facebook and Instagram advertising and marketing activities in one place. Simple. It allows you to schedule posts, ad campaigns, and manage messages across platforms simultaneously. So if you're struggling to keep up and stay consistent building a social media brand for yourself, you need to start using it ASAP. Getting started with Meta Business Suite is super easy. You just need a Facebook business account. So once you're logged in, head to the top right of your feed page and you'll see a square made of mini squares, or the 9 square button. Click that and then select Create Page. From there, you'll insert the title of your company and what category it's in. I use Learn with Shopify as an example and chose educational resource. You can input up to 3 categories. Then, introduce your business in your bio. Maybe put something more than just "we are awesome." You want to make sure your bio is succinct, catchy, and accurately describes your company's purpose. Your business bio should be concise and easy to understand, as people have very short attention spans. So for instance, for our Learn with Shopify page, we might put something like, "We believe anyone anywhere in the world can be an entrepreneur. That's why we're here to teach you everything you need to know about how to do just that." Which is true, by the way, so definitely hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on the latest and greatest tips for your business here at Learn with Shopify. But if you want a real life working example, let's take a look at the bio of the official Shopify Facebook page. Shopify is a commerce platform that allows anyone to easily sell online at a retail location and everywhere in between. Easy, simple, says what we are and what we do in one sentence. Your bio isn't the place to write your autobiography. Save that for 10 years down the road when you're featured in Forbes magazine. Dream big. Next, include things like your hours, location, website, and contact details, and make sure everything is up to date. Once that's done, we get to the fun part, design. When it comes to the design of your page, make sure any elements you add all fit cohesively within your brand. Your brand should be easy to recognize, so make your Facebook page an extension of your website with similar textures, colors, and designs. Ensure whatever images you choose to include are engaging, compelling, professional, and specific to your brand. For instance, when I compare the Shopify website to the Shopify Facebook business page, you can see that though there are differences, there's a lot of similarities in color, logos, shapes, and there's a balance between play and professionalism. Obviously, yours doesn't have to be the same as Shopify's, nor should it be, but make sure you have a few key design elements you can use as a foundation across the board. A great way to start with this is to include a signature color scheme that you can use as the thread that weaves everything together, from logos to frames to accent pieces. Everything you post, including the text you feature, should fit within the elements, aesthetics, and subject matter of your page. But I'll talk more about posting later. Quick tip: make sure your cover image and profile picture fit the correct specifications of Facebook, like dimensions and file format, so you don't waste time having to resize those blurry images. Next to your gorgeous cover photo, which, by the way, you're gonna wanna choose a gorgeous cover photo, click the 3 dots below and you'll see a button that says Add Action Button or a Call to Action button. The reason you want to install one is because it gives your customers an active next step once they've decided you're the right fit for them. Meta has a list of all the options available, so you can easily choose one that's right for you. If you're selling services, you could use Book Now or Get a Quote. If you're trying to earn followers and support, add a like or subscribe button. To expedite a purchase, easy. Put Add to Cart or Check Out Now, stuff like that. Before you publish your page, make sure it's set to public. Otherwise, the only people who are gonna see it are you and the FBI agent spying on your computer. Just kidding. Click Settings in the left sidebar, select Followers and Public Content, and there you'll make sure all the things are set to public. Once you're happy with the design of your Facebook business page, click Create page. Then go back into settings and be sure to assign yourself a username. Giving your company a short and easy to remember username is a subtle way to promote your business as it navigates the interwebs. People see your ads with your username attached to it, and before they know it, all they're thinking about is Nina's nifty knitting. A good example that demonstrates this idea are these competing cereal breakfast food companies, Magic Spoon and Off Limits. Magic Spoon chose to add cereal to their name on their Facebook page, whereas Off Limits does not. Off Limits only has 442 likes and 443 followers, whereas Magic Spoon cereal has 105k likes and 114k followers. Magic Spoon launched in 2019 and Off Limits launched in 2020, only a year apart, yet despite having similar design components and branding, there's a huge difference in their visibility on Facebook. So that to me signals that by adding that keyword cereal, Magic Spoon is being seen by the right audience, whereas Off Limits doesn't really reference food at all in its title, which could be limiting its visibility on Facebook. I should note that Magic Spoon doesn't have cereal in their brand name on their website, but chose to add it to Facebook to what looks like their benefit. So, to edit your username, go to settings, type username into the search bar, select name, and you'll see where you can edit it. At long last, it's time to head over to your very own Meta Business Suite. If you want to take full advantage of your Facebook business page, you need to use Meta Business Suite. Why? Because it's sweet, obviously. But actually though, you can manage all of the features and insights of your Facebook business page. Plus, you can create a posting schedule for ads and videos, manage customer interactions with automated messages and reviews, and so much more. Oh, and did I mention this also goes for your entire metaverse? That's right, you can manage your Facebook page, but also your Instagram and WhatsApp. Side note, if you made your website through Shopify, you're in luck because you can also connect your Meta Business Suite to your Shopify store and streamline a lot of this. Haven't built your store yet? I got you covered because you can head to the link in our description below and sign up for a free trial. Upon logging into Meta Business Suite, you'll see the dashboard, which provides tips, tricks, and personalized to-do lists that adapt to your usage. On the panel to your left, you'll see your notifications for interactions with your business planner, a calendar featuring content scheduled to post and options to create more, content, which shows a history of everything you've posted, including drafts, insights regarding how well your content is doing, inbox, messages from your clients across platforms, monetization helps you track performance on subscription earnings and in-stream ads, review and create ads, all tools and settings. Upon logging into Meta Business Suite, you'll see the dashboard, which provides tips, tricks, and a personalized to-do list that adapts to your usage. Before we run around and play on our Meta Business Suite, let's hang out in settings for a while. I've run into a bunch of problems in the past when setting this up because I overlooked some authentication requirements, and believe me, you do not want to be as close as I was to throwing my computer across the room. Overall, it's pretty intuitive and will prompt you to complete the steps you need to in order to keep everything working, so keep that in mind. Head to the bottom left and select settings. If you haven't set up two-factor authentication yet, it will prompt you on this page. I've already done it, so it won't show up for me, but it's pretty simple. All you have to do is follow the prompts. Once that's done, scroll down to Business Portfolio Info and fill out all the information regarding your business and verify it if needed. Bottom line, if Facebook doesn't believe you are a real business, you will run into roadblocks, so trust me, these steps are crucial. You're going to scroll up to Brand Safety, click Domain, click Add New Domain, paste the link to your website, and then follow the prompts. This step can be a little intimidating, but don't worry, I got you. For Shopify users, you can typically paste the meta tag into your theme's liquid code, specifically under the section where you see the less than and the greater than symbols with the word head between it. Then scroll up to Accounts and connect your Instagram and WhatsApp. I ran into issues with Facebook not allowing me to create ads for some reason until I connected my Instagram and set up two-factor authentication, so make sure you do this. Plus, remember all that stuff I mentioned earlier, it makes your life so much easier. When you first open the suite, it will usually prompt you to link your Insta, but if it doesn't, head to Settings in the bottom left, select Accounts and select Instagram/WhatsApp and log in from there. If you don't have an Instagram business page set up, well, guess what? We have another video on that, which I will link in the description below. Lastly, you're going to want to make a data set in order to install a metapixel into your account. Metapixels are super useful to help you track who's visiting your website, buying things, opting in, and so on. To create a data set, click Data Sources and then click Data Sets. Super easy from here. Click the Add Data Set, give it a name, probably the name of your company or website or ad campaign, and hit Save. If you don't see it, don't panic. Scroll around a bit or refresh it, and finally it will appear. When you see it, assign it to you or whoever you want to be responsible for it, and then head to All Tools. This looks like 3 horizontal lines on the left side, and then select Events Manager. In the left column, select Data Sources, and your data set should come up. Once you've clicked on it, scroll down and click Setup Metapixel. It will give you the option to set it up manually or through a partner website. As you can see, Shopify is hanging out right there, so feel free to click that and the instructions will guide you. Or you can set it up via your Shopify account. If you head to your preferences on your Shopify store, there will be an option to add a Facebook pixel. Okay, that was a lot to digest, so thanks for sticking with me. But now you're pretty much set up for success and it's time to start making ads. When posting content and running ads for your Meta apps, keep in mind what I mentioned before about creating a cohesive brand. From posting original content to reposting videos or reels, remember, social media outlets for your business help you sell products by adding value to your company. The value I'm talking about refers to the relationship your company establishes with your customers. Everything you post should interact with your intended audience in some way to encourage engagement and the return of customers after they bought the product. That's how you're going to maintain and grow traction for your business. So, for instance, say you sell handmade crochet sweaters. Post videos about how to crochet or how to style some of your products, or post behind the scenes. By adding educational resources, behind the scenes, contests, how-to videos, etc., will add value to your page, which will increase traffic and sales. Now, let's put that in the context of cross-posting. When you use the content planner, it will give you the option to schedule your post for a specific date and time, and which apps you'd like to post it to. You could post the same video to both platforms, or you could experiment with your Facebook being more focused on About Us content and your Instagram being your primary how-to style content. Either way, the content planner gives you the option to explore what works for you by making it easy to post when, where, and how you like. To see what's working, check the Insights tab to see what videos are gaining more traction specific to audience type, time, date, and then app. Then adjust accordingly. To create a post, click the Content tab on the left and then look to the top right and click Create Post/Reel button. I want to highlight that at the bottom of the post you're creating, you'll see a boost option. This will give you the option of running an ad with the post. That's one way to start an ad. The other is to head to the Ads tab on the left-hand side and click Create Ad in the top right. It will ask you to choose a goal. Just a note, ads can add up and get really expensive, so it's important you make them intentional. When you're ready to run ads, remember your objective, your audience, and your format. When it comes to your objective, yes, of course your goal is to make a sale, but that's not enough. Start with asking yourself why your intended audience would want to buy your product. So let's use the crochet fashion example I mentioned earlier, and just so we're on the same page, this is the kind of handmade crochet items I'm thinking of. Let's say our business sells handmade, sustainable, crocheted clothing geared towards a feminine audience. Ask yourself, what proof will I need to see in order to determine that this is the right audience for me after I've run my ad campaign? So make it specific, like, after my ad campaign, I will see an increase in revenue by 25% over the next quarter and 40% increase in views and interactions. Therefore, your campaign goal could sound something like, by advertising my products to feminine professionals in their mid-20s to 30s who value sustainability, versatility, and handmade fashion, we will increase our monthly revenue by 25% and increase account viewership and interaction by 40% over the next quarter. By adding those details to your goal statement, you have given yourself quantifiable markers to help you evaluate the success of your campaign. If you don't increase by your desired percentages, then that's a sign something needs to change, whether that's your expectations or the campaign itself. That's already a way more specific objective than I want to advertise to make money. Next, Break those goals down in order to decide how to advertise. Want to show off that your items are meticulously handmade? Include stories in your ad campaigns of you actually making someone's order. Utilizing videos, photos, and carousel posts, lives, and stories are all great and diverse ways to advertise, so be sure you don't get stuck using just one format. Once you have your ideas laid out, ensure that the final product is uploaded at the highest quality. We don't want anything that looks like it was shot last minute with your desk lamp for lighting. Make sure they look professional and, you guessed it, fit the design of your brand. Don't forget to include a call to action button like shop now, and be sure to include persuasive copy in the descriptions below to highlight any unique selling points. When you're ready to upload, be sure you've adjusted your audience, price point, and duration of your ad campaign, which are all options you'll see on the Create page. Meta Business Suite will also let you select where you want your ads to appear, so on Facebook, Instagram, or both. And thanks to that Meta Pixel we installed, you will see detailed insights regarding the successes of your posts. While Meta generally recommends using one ad set per campaign, you can experiment with multiple ad sets for different audiences to see what works at the beginning. It used to be that you could run multiple ad sets directed at different audiences to discern which one had a higher success rate. Now, it's a stronger idea to pay more for one ad set because it will go further and learn faster than multiple campaigns at a time. Once you've let your campaign run for a while and you've had a chance to collect data from your insights, be sure to keep refining and retuning if needed. Last but not least, you're going to get a lot of messages from all those beautiful, amazing ads you've made, so you're going to need to set up automatic replies. From your home page, select the inbox in the left sidebar. Then in the top right, you'll see some kind of like Jimmy Neutron orb that says automations. Click that and it will bring you to where you can create automatic replies to your heart's content. This step is definitely necessary because you will get busier and you want to make sure your clients feel heard, so do not skip it. I'm exhausted. That was a journey we went on together, so thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video and now have a much clearer idea of how to use Meta Business Suite to optimize your business. But as always, there's still so much more to talk about, so if you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment down below and it might inspire our next video. And hey, why not leave a like and follow while you're at it?
So what is Meta AI? Think of this as your personal virtual assistant, right? So it can help you handle things that you don't have time for, like customer support and content creation, data analysis, copywriting. It literally feels like it should be illegal to know because it is one of the most intelligent AI assistants that you can use for free, and it's also gonna help you cut down on your workload. If you're a WhatsApp, a Facebook, or an Instagram user, which, come on, you probably are, you've probably seen Ask Meta AI all over the platforms. And all of these apps are owned by Meta. So this means that you get a seamless integration with all of these apps. I'm gonna show you just how cool this is and what you can do with it later in the video, so make sure to stick around. And if you don't have these apps, no problem. You can still access the chatbot on the web at meta.ai. So what's the magic behind Meta AI? This is built on something called Llama. Llama is a powerful open source large language model developed by Meta. Let's break this down. Llama is a type of AI that's trained on a massive library of text from various sources. So this allows it to understand and generate language like a human. So it can answer questions, it can generate content, it can even create images. Llama is the backbone of Meta AI, which allows it to have these super impressive functions and features. So there are two main reasons why Llama is different from other large language models like ChatGPT and Google Gemini. Number one is its training. So have you ever wondered how AI models learn to understand human language? It works with these things called tokens, which is like a word or a punctuation mark or a symbol. So think of this like building with a Lego. Each Lego brick represents a single token, and the more Lego bricks you have or the more tokens you have, the more complex structures you can build. Now, let me show you how to use it. In Messenger apps like WhatsApp, Messenger, and Instagram Messenger, type the @ symbol, and you can actually tag Meta AI directly in your chat to ask it a question. Okay, so why would you use this in chats? Well, say you're planning a meetup with your colleague over Instagram. You can tag Meta AI directly in that chat and say, what are some good professional places to meet for coffee in Toronto? And you're gonna get a bunch of suggestions right there in the chat. You'll also have access to Meta AI in Facebook search. Let's say you're trying to network with other e-commerce brands. You'll see in the search bar, it says Ask Meta AI. So you would just type in best e-commerce Facebook groups. A chat will open up with Meta AI, and you're gonna get suggestions and links to join those groups right in front of you. You can also access Meta AI when you're scrolling through your Facebook feed. So let's say you come across a post that you're super interested in. You can just press the Ask Meta AI for more info right from the post. Having Meta AI is like having that know-it-all friend beside you at all times. Now, what's really neat about Meta AI is that you can generate images. Yes, that's cool, but you can actually generate these in real time. So this is called Meta AI's Imagine feature. So for example, you have a Shopify store selling Halloween costumes for dogs. Maybe you want something funny to create to post on your socials. When you start a prompt with Imagine, Meta AI will begin generating an image as you type. You can change that image based on the wording you use in the text. Every letter you add or remove modifies the image in real time. So there's no waiting time like on Midjourney, for example. Once your image is generated, you can select it and animate it with this animate button. Honestly, if this GIF isn't your favorite thing that you've seen on the internet today, you're watching the wrong type of content. You can also use this feature in the Meta-based messenger apps by typing @ and then you'll see this Imagine feature pop up. It's pretty cool. If you want to learn how to prompt engineer for text-to-image AI tools, Rachel has a great video for you that I will link in the description. So now that we've unlocked the secrets of Meta AI and I've shown you a little bit about what it can do, I'm curious. Are you as excited as I am about the possibilities? Let me know in the comments or give this video a thumbs up if you're liking it so far. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve when it comes to using AI and other game-changing tools to grow your business, make sure to subscribe to this channel, Learn with Shopify, and watch our other videos. We have this huge library of hundreds of long and short videos, and this is an official Shopify-powered channel. We're all about empowering entrepreneurs like you to succeed. We've got a ton of valuable insights and tips to share, so welcome to the fam. Now you know how to access Meta AI. So let's go through some more practical ways that you can use it. I'm gonna demonstrate these on the web version, but remember that you can access it in any of the apps. So let's talk about copywriting. It takes a lot of time, takes a lot of energy and brain power, but not when you know how to use AI. Meta AI can help with creative writing tasks like product descriptions or blog posts and social media content. For example, you can ask Meta AI to generate a blog post for a recent update in your industry. Meta AI is connected to the internet, powered by Bing, so it has access to real-time data. So let's say you want to write a blog post about the latest trends in sustainable packaging. I'm going to enter this prompt. Write me an SEO blog post on the current trends in sustainable packaging, focusing on how sustainability can help a business with longevity. Meta AI will create a well-structured and engaging search engine optimized blog post to help with value content and discoverability. I can literally just copy and paste that to my blog. It's easy, I love it, and if I wanted to turn it into an email newsletter, I would just say, turn it into an email newsletter to inform my existing customers about our recent switch to eco-friendly packaging. There is so much good stuff here. And remember, this is just like a conversation, so if you want to tweak it, you can just ask, make it shorter and more conversational, boom. Have you ever tried to write an ad and you're just stuck? Well, try this. Insert your Shopify product page link and say, I want to create an ad for my new hot sauce flavor, Sorta Sizzlin'. Scan this product page and generate 5 meta ad ideas. Do you want to get on your top competitor's level in a fraction of the time? For example, if I have this hot sauce business and I want to know how to make my website top notch, I'm just going to go to Frank's Red Hot website, copy the URL, paste it into Meta AI, and say, pull actionable product feature ideas from this website that I can replicate on mine. Or compare my website to the Frank's Red Hot website and let me know where I'm doing well and where I can improve. Here's my website, and then paste your website link. Now you have some expert insights on how to improve your site based on a leading brand in your industry. Keeping up with the trends is crucial to stay ahead of the game. Meta AI can help with research tasks like finding relevant data or statistics or even trends. So you can ask it questions like, what are the current trends in e-commerce? Or what is the average order value for e-commerce stores in the food industry? Now, what I really like about Meta AI is that there's this View Sources button, so you can see where the data was found and make sure it's relevant. Building your brand voice is essential. So let's say we want to create a personalized email campaign for our customers who have purchased hoodies from our store. We can ask Meta AI to generate email content based on their purchase history and preferences. For example, I'll use the prompt, generate an email for customers who have bought hoodies in the past 6 months, recommending products like jeans or jackets. There you go. Just copy and paste that into your email marketing software, which, by the way, you can do directly on Shopify. You would need the Shopify email app add-on, and then you're ready to build those personalized relationships with your customers. Alrighty, so we've gone over some of the things that you can do with Meta AI, but here are 4 things to consider to guarantee that you are going to get the best responses. The more specific you are with your prompts, the better results you're going to get. Try to ask targeted questions or provide really clear context. You can tweak your prompts if needed and add additional context as you go for better responses. You'll also want to use natural language and talk to Meta AI like a human. This isn't only easier for you, but it's also easier for it to understand you. You don't want to be afraid to try different phrasings or different approaches to get the results that you want because it's all about experimentation. It's also important to fact check and verify data. AI isn't perfect yet. So use that View Sources button that I showed you earlier. This button is going to show you where Meta AI got its information from, and then you can go ahead and double check your info. Now, I've seen some people online commenting about getting vague or irrelevant responses from Meta AI. This all comes down to your prompting technique, because let me tell you, if you don't know how to properly prompt AI, you're just wasting your time. So if you want to learn more about prompting for AI, we've created a 4-part masterclass on prompt engineering, covering how to properly prompt AI to achieve specific results. I'm going to link those videos for you in the description. Just like AI is changing so fast, so is the world. If you want to make it part of your job to keep up with the trends and the evolving digital landscape, have you considered starting something to earn some extra money? Consider starting an e-commerce store on Shopify. It's a super simple way to get started with selling things online. You can accept payments, you can get funds deposited directly into your bank account after just 2 to 3 business days. It's super easy. So I'm gonna leave a free trial link for you in the description so you can try out Shopify for free and start moving yourself into the digital commerce world so you don't get left behind. So the question was, is Meta AI revolutionizing everything? Maybe, maybe not, but in my personal opinion, it's not this crazy technology that it's built on that's revolutionary. It's the fact that it's built into these apps that you and me use every single day. So sooner or later, hundreds of thousands of millions of people are gonna start playing around with it. So it better be you before you get left behind.
There's a lot of money to be made on Facebook ads, and anyone can learn how to do it successfully with a little time and practice. As Mark Zuckerberg once said, the biggest risk is not taking any risk. So let's dive in and start creating some ads. The first thing you need to do is create a Facebook page and set up a business account. Once you do, open up your ads manager and click Create Ad. A little tip, when choosing your first product to push, try to use your best-selling product or the one with the highest profit margins. This way you can mitigate some risk. There are 3 levels in every Facebook ad campaign. First, there's the campaign, then the ad sets, and then the ads. First, in the campaign, here is where you define your goals such as engagement, lead gen, sales, or your budget. Next is ad sets. This is where you can set up targeting, bids, placement, your schedule, and also sometimes your budget as well. Lastly is the actual ads. This is the copy, the images, or the videos you use. Basically the creative aspect. You can actually have several ads running at the same time for testing purposes. Now, let's build a campaign. To begin, you will have to set your objective first. So if you're on a small budget, go for leads or sales. If you have a bit of a budget to play with, you can start with brand awareness or traffic and then retarget from there. Next, choose your campaign setup. And don't be afraid to trust Meta and use Advantage Plus shopping campaigns and audiences. This allows Meta to do what it does best, especially if you have a small budget and you don't have a lot of room to play around with. And there's also going to be less details to worry about in the beginning. Next, set your budget. You can give a daily budget or a lifetime budget. So how much should you be spending? You should spend at least 1 times your product price every day in order to get sufficient data. But spend 2 to 3 times your product price if you can. But if you're on a budget or you have a high ticket product, just spend what you have. It could honestly be as low as $3 a day just to get something running in the beginning. But know this,
The more money you give Facebook, the better results and data it's going to get for you. Now, what about targeting? With targeting, you have the option to go broad or niche. First, if you don't have a lot of data on your buyers, it's good to focus on only one interest at a time and test how effective it is. Start broad and then narrow things down as you go. Broad targeting lets Facebook optimize your campaign with the best audiences. Plus, larger campaigns can actually be more cost effective. You can also use Advantage, and it's gonna help you choose the best audience for your product. Alternatively, if you already know your ideal prospects based on customer purchase data that you have, then it could benefit you to go super niche and then pour your money into that group of people only. You need to consider their location, their interests, and their age among other data points. If you're unsure of which one to choose, you can A/B test this and run 2 of the same campaigns. One to a niche audience and one to a broad audience. Then see what does best. Once you have a winner, run with that one. I will say this though, trying to run niche ad campaigns without proper customer data is like throwing darts blindfolded. You're gonna hit something, but it's probably not the target. Now, how long should you run your campaign? Run the testing phase for about 1 to 2 weeks. Once you find a winning ad, run it for 3 to 4 weeks and then evaluate the impressions. If it works well and it's evergreen, you can keep running it. But make sure to keep your creatives fresh. There's something called the learning phase. Facebook needs to learn about what works, so try not to adjust any important details on your campaign until it has finished the learning phase. You can always duplicate a campaign if you want to make adjustments. So let Facebook learn on your campaigns while they're active so it can properly optimize things for you. Meta does need conversions to learn what works, and the learning period timeframe is based on conversion volumes. So if you make 1,000 sales per day, it could learn in 2 hours, but if you get 5 sales a week, it could take a month to know if that ad is getting good results. Let it run its course. You know you're in the learning phase if your delivery column says learning. Now, let's talk about ad creatives. These are incredibly important. You have the choice to boost content that you've already made, or you can create your own ad creatives. You could be amazing at targeting, but if your ad creatives suck, they won't work. You can create these yourself, or you can hire UGC creators or even an agency to do this for you. You have the option to run videos, photos, carousels, and collections. Make the ads feel organic, like a post from a friend. Especially for videos, something that's gonna stop people from scrolling and keep them engaged. You also want to use a hook to get their attention. Show people how your product actually solves their problem. And do not forget a call to action. People need to be told what they must do to get what they want. For conversion campaigns, it would be something like click the link below to shop now, or click here to get 10% off. You need to have this in your creative asset or in your copy. If you're struggling with content ideas, use the Meta Ads library to look at live ads. Look at how long they've been running and how well they're doing. You really want to analyze the ones that have been running a long time, ideally for several months, and then figure out why they're working, and then create ads with the same format. Don't completely copy them, but use the format and make it your own. This way, you can actually use someone else's testing. To make a successful ad, you need to combine effective targeting, engaging creatives, and a good landing page experience. You can also use tactics like limited edition discounts, free shipping, product bundles, and more to get your customers' attention. Now, let's talk about budgeting. You can set your budget on a campaign level or on an ad set level. If you choose to use Advantage Plus, it's going to set your budget on a campaign level. Choosing a budget on your ad set level will give you more control over how specific ad sets are delivered. It's good to use campaign budgets for testing and ad set budgets once you know what is working. The spending limit is not a hard cap. Facebook may go over a little bit. They're gonna tell you below how much they're gonna go over, but you're gonna need to be a little bit flexible. Also, start small until you know that your campaigns are profitable, and then you can scale from there. If you have a small budget, just copy what works in your industry already. Now, here are bidding strategies. First is spend-based bidding. This is about spending your budget and getting the highest value possible. Facebook is gonna try to optimize your entire budget. Goal-based bidding. You set a cost or value that you want to achieve, such as cost per result or a ROAS goal. That means return on ad spend goal. There's also manual bidding. Here, you control how much you bid across ad auctions. Bid caps are good for advertisers who have an understanding of predicted conversion rates and can place the right bid. You can set the maximum bid, which is how much you're willing to spend in a day, and the minimum bid, which is the lowest amount you're willing to spend in a day. If you want to keep your spending low and control your costs, Facebook recommends using cost per result bidding, such as cost per sale, for example. Quick question for you. What is your biggest challenge when it comes to running Facebook ads? Leave it in the comments down below. Now, let's talk about A/B testing. The best thing to do in the beginning is to test. Testing is going to be your best friend in this process. You're going to want to A/B test different ad creatives, test different audiences, and even test your landing pages. We want to find what works and then pour our ad spend into that. You're not going to know exactly what works for you until you start testing. However, you should only be testing one variable at a time. This way you can actually understand what's causing the most success. To run an A/B test, you can either duplicate your ad set, or your campaign, and then change the factor that you want to test. Alternatively, you can click the A/B testing button and then select what attribute you want to A/B test. Now let's talk about ad tracking and optimization. You will need to track the success of your campaigns with a pixel. If you're wondering, a pixel is basically a tracker that monitors conversions, views, and actions on your website or wherever you're sending your leads to. So to set up a pixel, go to Events Manager, then connect data sources, then web, and enter your URL. Next, install the pixel code on your website pages, or you can do it using your pixel ID. And make sure your ad campaign is attached to the right pixel. So what are the key metrics that you should be paying attention to? First, there is CTR. This stands for click-through rate. You want to aim for a 1 to 3% click-through rate. Next is ROAS, which stands for return on ad spend. This tracks how much revenue your ad generates. There's also CPA, which means cost per action. Then there is conversion rate. This is the percentage of users who took your desired action after interacting with your ad. For e-commerce, 2% to 5% is standard. Frequency is the average amount of times a person in your target audience saw your ad during a specific time period. Lastly is CAC, which stands for cost to acquire a customer. This is all very important data to understand. Fun fact, you can actually track this data right in your Shopify dashboard. All you gotta do is connect your Shopify account with your Facebook ad account. So if you wanna check that out, I've actually linked a free Shopify trial down below. Okay, here are some tips for scaling and maximizing your ROI. Use lookalike audiences to find new customers that share the same characteristics with your best performing audiences, such as your top purchasers, subscribers, or your highly engaged users. You can also use incremental budget scaling. So try to increase your budget 20 to 30% every 2 to 3 days on campaigns and ad creatives that are going strong already. Make sure you're adding new ad creatives every 2 to 3 weeks to keep things fresh while still using the format that works best for your niche. You want to scale up and start running more of what's working. Once you know what works, it's all about volume. This one is really important. Make sure to retarget users who clicked on your ad but didn't convert. Retarget people who viewed your product or put it in their cart but didn't buy. Psychologists say that people typically need to see a product 7 times before they buy. Retargeting is a very effective tool. Once you've done it enough, people will not be able to forget you. Now you know that Facebook ads are a powerful tool for advertising online, and you now have the tactics you need to run successful campaigns. Now go get out there and start your first campaign. Make this year the best year yet.
Step 1, gathering data. So you're running Facebook ad after Facebook ad and you can't figure out what's not working. You can speculate based on what your competitors are doing, sure, but that doesn't tell you much. Gathering information from your Facebook ads data, however, is crucial for understanding your campaign performance and making data-driven decisions, not just speculative ones. Downloading the files is super easy, and you can even download it as a CSV format so you can manage your data directly in Excel. To do this, go to Ads Manager, and in the left sidebar, click Ad Reports. You'll see a tab on the left hand that says Reports and Exports. When you click Exports, it will ask you which report you need to export, something you'll need to select before this step. So, go back to Reports, click Create Report. This allows you to create your own filtered options. You can choose Pivot Table, Trendline Chart, or Bar Chart. After you select one, you can customize what you want to download by selecting options on the right. Ensure to include campaign names, ad set names, and ad names to add further specificity to your data analysis. Remember to include a wide or specific data range time frame. This will provide valuable context and help you identify long-term trends in your campaign performance. Go back to all reports once you click Save, and you will see it as an option to export. Step 2, leveraging AI for analysis. Data. yes, all wonderful, but how on earth do you figure out what all this means? I feel like so many people talk about analytics and say, ooh, don't forget about these useful analytics without actually explaining how to do that. Well, for those of you who do know, right on. But for those of you who don't, you can use AI as your teacher and interpreter in this case to help translate the data into words you'll understand. Now that you've set up your separate reports, it's time to export them. Click export and download the files in your preferred format. You can choose CSV, PDF, or PNG. Download it as an Excel file for your own records, but for the sake of inputting it into AI, use a PDF. I'll explain why. Now that you have your data, head to either GPT or Gemini and attach the file. From there, paste this. Analyze this Facebook ads data. Identify top performing ad sets, underperforming campaigns, and potential optimization strategies. Provide insights into audience demographics, ad creative effectiveness, and overall campaign performance. This prompt transforms ChatGPT or Google Gemini into your own personal Facebook ads expert. You can always refine your prompt to include other factors like age and gender variations to deduct issues and brainstorm strategies. You can also turn your AI of choice into your very own teacher by inputting this prompt instead. Provide me with a sample Meta Ads Manager dataset. Explain the different data types and how to visualize them. Present me with a problem in this dataset and guide me through the process of interpreting the data, identifying patterns, and drawing conclusions. Here's an example of how Google Gemini might respond. Now, this is a little bit of a simplistic example, but despite it, Gemini took me through and broke down each category and demonstrated how we can summarize the data we receive, which is pretty awesome. But what would be even more awesome is if there was a way to track negative patterns, so when an ad wasn't doing well, I had a system that could automatically remove it. So I could, I don't know, sleep in maybe, or go for a walk, or actually sit down and read a book I like. It's just... Sorry. Anyways, you get the point. Which brings us to step 3, utilizing automated rules. Good news, all those daydreams I just had before are actually something you can do after you start using automated rules. Automated rules allow you to streamline your ad management process and optimize performance. With it, you can automate tasks like pausing underperforming ads, increasing budgets for high-performing ads, and sending notifications. This can save you time and help you optimize your ads more efficiently. Here's how to set it up. Go to Ads Manager and log into your Facebook Ads Manager account. Navigate to Tools by going to Tools on the left sidebar. Then it's gonna ask you to create a new rule. So you can create rule, click that, and then it's gonna ask you to name it. I'm gonna name mine Ad Stop because I want it to stop all underperforming ads. Define the rule. So you're gonna set the condition for the rule to trigger, i.e. a cost per result exceeds a certain threshold or a specific metric reaches a certain value. And then you're gonna set a time frame. Specify the time frame for the condition to be evaluated. Lastly, an action. Choose the action to be taken when the condition is met. So for instance, pause the ad set, increase the budget, send a notification. For the sake of this example, I will set mine to Ad Stop. When using automated rules, make sure to monitor performance, so regularly review the performance of your automated rules to ensure they are working as intended. Number 2, be specific. Use clear and specific conditions and actions to maximize the effectiveness of your rules. Test and experiment with different rule combinations to find the optimal settings for your campaigns, and avoid overcomplicating them. Keep your rules simple and focused on key performance metrics. Automated rules helps you work smarter, not harder. It helps you react faster to your changing market and increases the quality of results you earn from your ads without having to manually intervene all the time. Again, work smarter, not harder. You don't have to walk uphill both ways to school anymore like your parents say they did. They didn't really. It's fine. Step 4, exploring other AI tools. For this section, I asked the expert, Meta AI itself. But also, we made a video about Meta AI you can check out in the description after this video. For today's video, I used my phone to access Meta AI on Messenger and asked it to tell me about itself. And boy, does it love to brag, with good reason too. Beyond automated rules, Meta Ads has integrated AI into many aspects of their programs, such as AI-powered automated insights, such as performance analysis, ad campaign recommendations, and data-driven optimization suggestions. There's also dynamic ads. Dynamic Dynamic Ads is an AI-fueled advertising sect that automatically places your ads across the metaverse in the pathways of users whose interests match your products. It identifies user interests based on browsing history, search queries, likes, and interactions. Then it takes relevant products from your uploaded catalog and presents them to your best determined potential customers. Not only that, you can use Dynamic Ads to help you create personalized calls to actions, descriptions, and images. To use Dynamic Ads, you must have a Facebook Business Manager account, a product catalog set up in Facebook Commerce Manager, and number 3, Facebook Ads Manager account. I'm gonna presume you have all those things. Once you have them though, go to Facebook Ads Manager, click Create Campaign, choose conversions or catalog sales as the campaign objective, and then select Dynamic Ads as the ad type. Step 2, set up ad settings. Choose ad formats such as single image, carousel, collection, whatever you want to do. Select targeting options, interests, behaviors, demographics. Set your budget and bidding strategy, and then choose optimization goals, so conversions, clicks, etc. Step 3, connect your product catalog. Select the product catalog you want to use. Choose the product sets or individual products to advertise. So a special tip, make sure the images you upload for your products are as high quality as you can get, okay? Step 4, customize ad creative. Upload a default image or use a product image from your catalog. Write a compelling headline and description. Use AI-generated options or customize manually. Then finally, step 5, review and launch. Review and preview your settings. Launch the campaign. Done. Easy. Combining all these tools allows you to create a sophisticated advertising strategy without having to manage everything manually. It's basically like having your own mini advertising team that puts everything in a tiny little email instead of filling your whole morning up with meetings that could have been an email. If you know, you know. Plus, if you're a one-person show, this is gonna make you feel way less stressed because it's gonna help you set up your business. Speaking of building your own company in a stress-free way, check out the Shopify free trial in the link below. Building a website with Shopify makes it even easier to work with Meta ads, and they have a ton of other AI resources you can use to make running your business a breeze. I mean, I could do a whole video about it. But I'm not done talking about ad creation, and I know you have questions about it, so let's get to it. When you're starting your business or even looking to change up your look, creating brand images can feel really daunting. While I don't think image generators can replace working with design professionals, they can inspire ideas, create great images, and save you time on crafting monotonous copy for your ad campaigns. ChatGPT and Google Gemini are great editing partners to use when drafting copy for your website, your posts, and your ads. Write a prompt like, write 5 Instagram ad headlines for a new sustainable fashion brand targeting eco-conscious consumers, or whatever else you want to put into it. If you've already typed something out for your bio page and you think it's long and needs adjusting, copy it into Google Gemini and ask it to make cuts or give you suggestions or reword awkward phrases, which is so useful. Just remember to always proofread and fact check everything it writes for you, and don't put any personal or financial information into it for your safety. While AI models are becoming increasingly sophisticated, they can still make mistakes, especially when dealing with complex topics or requiring specific knowledge. Before you use AI, the last thing you want to do is create the same kind of messaging your competitors are using, which is why it's important to know the pain points of your rivals. Wow, that felt a little villainous to say. I kind of like it. Anyways, instead of scrolling through reviews, get ChatGPT to flag any common issues for you instead. To do this, go to your competitor's Google review page, copy the link, and then in the chat prompt box, ask it to analyze these reviews, highlight all common issues and pain points, and then paste the link. It will highlight them all for you. Then you're gonna ask it to create 5 ad lines for your brand that show a superior alternative. So now, not only have you gotten help creating copy for your ads, but you've made it more effective by highlighting how your brand differs from the competition in a positive way. Don't forget, there are also AI image generators like Midjourney or DALL-E, for example, that you can use to edit and elevate images of your products to increase their quality. I mean, looking for a background for your website, but you don't know where to start? Spend some time inputting prompts into the generators with a few adjectives and see what inspires you. Plus, if you want to deep dive on this, check out this video on our channel and subscribe while you're at it, because we've got tons where that comes from. It breaks down how to be a master prompter so you can get the best images in record time. I will link it right here for you. You may even find a great base image for your final product. Take that image and use your own expertise to refine and enhance the quality of the image specific to your brand. You can even use these images to help you effectively communicate your vision to a hired designer or digital creator to truly make something unique. But remember, no one is as unique as you. AI generation provides a great launching pad for your creativity and can make crafting the design elements of your business less broad and more specific. But remember, your taste and human je ne sais quoi are the things that are going to make your brand truly stand out. By combining artificial intelligence with your intelligence, you can create innovative and effective designs and meta ad campaigns that are true to you. Remember, using AI is all about saving you time so that you can make time for your creativity and the things you love, not replace it altogether. While finding specific real-world examples of people using AI is pretty tricky, mostly because it isn't widely publicized yet, we can see the benefits and the potential of the tactics I mentioned in this video. A recent McKinsey survey states that more organizations are using AI in business functions than they have in previous years, primarily in marketing and sales and product service development. In fact, marketing and sales is one of 4 functional groups that combined could reap an estimated 75% of the 4.4 trillion annual global productivity that Gen AI could contribute. Plus, if you take a second to browse through the Shopify community and Reddit forums, people are definitely talking about it and using it. Take, for instance, this forum post where users discuss how they use ChatGPT to refine social media posts, translations, and customer responses, to name a few. Then, this Shopify forum post talks about how to attach an AI review summary into the product details page. All those things we've already mentioned in this video, plus a few more. As you can see, utilizing AI tools for business development, not to mention meta ads, is the talk of the town, and it's only going to keep growing. Stay ahead of the curve and start with the tools we mentioned in this video. And if you have any questions, ask us in the comments. We might even address it in our next video. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to stay up to date on all things e-commerce. We post all the time on our channel, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. I've been your host, Rachel Fisher. I'll see you next time.